Hi, this is Rachel at Tarot Dreams, and I believe that there are signs and synchronicities in our daily lives that are meant to provide us with a deeper understanding on our spiritual path and guide us in this experience. I'd like to share some of my insight and messages that I've received through intuition, dreams, foresight, and various channeled energies. Thank you so much for visiting my platform, and just know that I appreciate you all. As we get into this week's message, it's really going to be about December going into it's wrapping up the year of 8, the year of balance, and it's going into a year of 9, the beginnings and the endings. Well, I should say the endings and the beginnings. I'm going to try to keep my focus on December, as I'm getting a lot of information about 2025. And as you know, we will be exiting the year of the dragon. We will not be losing the dragon energy that a lot of channelers have been picking up. That is not the same. But we will be exiting the year of the dragon around the 29th of January. And I understand that right now we are in a Mercury retrograde, and we will be going into, I believe, a Mars retrograde as well. I will get all that information to you. I have a lot of downloaded information going on, so I'm going to try to keep this specific to December. I more than likely will fail miserably, as I've got a lot of incoming energies right now. I have once again been picking up signs, symbols, visions, dreams. It has been an intense week and a half. I was picking up the visions and signs and symbols of a dream that I had back, I don't know, it could have been a month ago, 2 months ago. I'm not really sure. It's in one of my divine providences. It's one of the ones that, the Cardinals. It was the one about the Cardinals. I'm seeing the rebranding. They're going to be rebranding, and it has something to do with, I believe that's going to be a theme for 2025, is going to be a rebranding. Right now in the month of December, it is a month of intentions, and the energy is really high. It's very kinetic. We actually are dealing with a lot of kinetic energy right now. You are seeing an old structure falling. You're seeing things that are taking place, like there's acts of aggression. There's, they're trying to basically show their relevance. I'm getting the keyword over and over again: fertility, power, might, vigor. I'm getting that a lot, but I'm getting intention. So December's going to be full of where you're going to see commitments being made, partnerships, contracts. It's also going to be, it's not been concealed, as far as it's a worldwide problem where we do have psychological sensitivity issues afoot. And this is going to have to be addressed at some point. But I believe that in December, it's almost going to become like a pop culture, where back in the 90s, late 90s, you might have seen them, spiking their hair, blue eyeshadow, really thick, It's going to be like their blue bracelets, and I think I even seen some shaving their heads. I don't know. But you're going to see a lot of psychological sensitivity come to the forefront. Not so much... It's almost going to be, the way I'm seeing it, is almost like a pop statement. And we're going to move through this momentum, but we're going to move through it with compassion and try to come at it from a higher perspective. So we do have an awareness that there needs to be a change and things have to be addressed. People are not going to handle what is dying or the structures that will no longer be in place very well. So yeah, we're gonna have to be sensitive, or a lot of people will be sensitive to this change. I keep getting told that Gen X, the reason Gen X was, I know they say Gen Z was a factor, but Gen X was a major factor in coming into their awareness of things that need to be done. I'm getting a lot with the Gen X. They're tired of people drunk on power, and they're just getting tired. They're just getting tired of it. So you're going to be being seen like a. I want to say, with the untamed energy, that they're just going to be overcoming difficulties, probably in a more, I don't want to say blunt fashion, but, they will be definitely setting their intentions. They're not going to carry the mistakes of the past with them. Anything with Gen X, if it was any obstructions or challenges, they just chalked it off as a stepping stone and, just moved forward. It's like a fire energy coming in. They don't really have a lot of time for the emotions. They understand. I'm not saying they're not considerate and not compassionate, but they want to wrap this up is the energy that I'm getting. So there's going to be a lot of growing pains is what I'm feeling, but this is just a starter. It's like December. Not everybody is going to be happy. This was a middle alignment, not a left or a right. And if you really want to look at it, it was left and right coming together. So not everybody's going to be happy. There's going to be commitments and partnerships and contracts that's not going to set well with either side, or three sides if you want to get technical. So it's a rebirth. And that's what I'm getting. And it's counting down. But the intentions are being set. There's going to be a rebranding. And I think that a lot of people are anticipating retribution. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen like you think. There is going to be a release, and there is going to be a serious rebranding of the United States as a lot of things were being farmed out. I think you're going to find things in the next 4 years will be handled quite differently. But let's try to stick to December, because what I seen was I think it's a prelude to January. I was seeing the Roadrunner, which it has healing magical properties. I was seeing Seal, which is also playful, light, being light in the community. Bear is protective and hibernation. But what was really coming about was the rat. And I kept hearing, I didn't see a rat, but I kept hearing the rat. And at first I thought it was talking about the group, because I am heavily influenced by music at times. But it's not. What they were explaining to me was the intuition, the survival skills. A rat has the ability to analyze and perceive what it needs to survive. So it is very, very cognitive, and it's very aware of its surroundings, and it follows its intuition the majority of the time. So you're going to see a lot of deep thinking, a lot of logical thought processes, and a lot of intuition as we get further into the month of December. You're going to see the month of December. You'll probably see it's like wrapping it up. You're probably going to see a lot of things that happened before in the past, like I don't know, what was it in the 90s, like 97 and 98. Bill Clinton. So you might actually, he was in the news very big then. So you might actually see the residue of his relevance trying to hang on. It's just an energy. So you might see him in the news a couple times. You might hear a lot about anchors or bridge workers. Something about bridges. I'm also getting mountains. I was getting mountains. I'm not really sure what this means. I don't know if I'm interpreting it correctly. Feel free to jump right on in. But I was pretty sure I was seeing the mountains on what used to be, and I don't know if it's still in business, Anheuser-Busch, heading to the mountains. And I'm not really sure if it's Mount Shasta or Mount Whitney. I really don't know. If it's Mount Shasta, that's volcano, active volcano, I believe. I'm not really sure about that either. I would look at that, or I would look at something with the mountains. I was seeing it could be Mount Whitney too. That's not leaving me, because I keep seeing Whitney, like I think her name is Whitney Webb or something like that, pop up when I talk about mountains. So it could be Mount Shasta with the volcano activity, or Mount Whitney, something around that general vicinity in that area. Where are they at? California, right? I'm not really sure. Okay, so something to do with that. I'm seeing something to do with, you might be seeing Georgia in the headlines in the month of December. Something going on there. But I'm definitely getting, we definitely have a lot of creepiness going on with the Mandela effect right now. It keeps popping up in my awareness. Something to do with, you're going to be hearing a lot, or that might be making the news, or in the I don't know, the zeitgeist somewhere, is something about the Mandela effect. I mean, the last thing I heard was the kidney thing, where, our kidneys are no longer, I remember them being in the lower back, close to the bladder. Now, apparently, your kidneys are up underneath, it's in your upper back underneath of your ribs. So yeah, I'm not really sure, but the Mandela effect is getting a little bit creepy here, and I think that happens when there's a huge time change or a time jump, and I don't know if it coincides or not. I'd have to go back and look if it coincided with when the assassination attempt happened in PA. So I'm just thinking that there was a time jump. Also something to do with stepping stones and pavers, but I believe that's what I was getting with the challenges, with the Gen X, or that they're just getting tired of it. They just want to wrap this up. So I'm getting a lot of that intention energy for the month of December, which is going to lead into wrapping up everything, because they're still exposing everything. Like, I keep getting references to Hollywood. Let's give you an example. Like in the year of 9, which we will be going into, which is a lot of endings and beginnings. You would have, like, when Seinfeld wrapped up, you also had Sex and the City premiere, okay? So you had like one icon end, but another one begin. So it's going to be that type of energy. But I'm picking up that Hollywood is going to end. The glamour is going to drop. And I am getting that. I don't want to get ahead of myself because I'm pretty sure this is in 2025 and not in the month of December. But I'm pretty sure that there will be something that is ready to take its place. But I'm definitely getting people drunk on power. I'm definitely getting that. And I'm definitely getting the release and the rebranding. There's going to be like a growth, rekindle, connections. But there is a plot twist afoot because people are anticipating certain things that aren't going to happen. And that has a lot to do with retribution. And I believe a lot of that is not going to happen, but we won't see that until next year. So what I'm getting now is that, the rat. I'm getting, even though we're getting ready to go into the year of snake and we're in the dragon energy, this is not the same. This is the rat. This is somebody who is fighting to survive. This is an awareness. This is following your intuition. This is, being prepared. I don't want to say scavenging, but rats are good at scavenging and, actually hoarding things if they have to. So to survive. So I'm not really sure what's up with that energy, but I'm getting it more on a strategic sense. That's what I'm getting there. And let's see, I'm also getting I'm getting the power structure. I'm getting like the ram and the goat, the power structure. So I'm definitely getting contracts and unions. I'm getting a lot of that energy. I'm getting a lot of kinetic weapon energy as well. I don't know why I keep seeing Clinton. I keep seeing him for some reason, Bill Clinton. He must be in the news for something, or he spoke up about something, because I'm picking up his residue everywhere. And I know that right now and going into January, we will be we should be, at any rate, coming in with our higher perspective and looking at things with compassion and using the I guess you want to say the weaver energy, as in cutting what threads are not in your tapestry anymore and including and bringing other threads in to replace it. This is a time to bond with your community. This is a time to get out there and actually start, especially in the spiritual community, is a time to start learning, exchanging, getting out there and elevating higher and working with the consciousness. I know that there have been a lot of people that have been really disillusioned because they have had, several mediums, psychics, channelers predict one way in the election for it to actually happen the other way. And I'm going to state this again. They're not really wrong. These were potential energies in the timelines that they were seeing. More than likely did play out at one time. I think Bashar even said something, and he said, "Are we ready to accept the outcome?" Well, you know what? It's the higher consciousness, and we are. If you're listening to me now, you're in my my timeline. And the thing is that it's going to be a timeline of compassion and higher perspectives. There will be contact. I think a lot of people are under the impression that we will not have contact now with I guess you want to call the hybrids, the aliens, or whatever you want to call them, interdimensional beings, because that's it in a nutshell. Yes, we will. And it is going to happen. All of that is going to happen. It's just none of them were really wrong. It's potential energies, and what happened is they were leaning into an energy that dropped. The timeline shift happened in PA, and at least that's when I felt it, because if you go back to my predictions for 2024, I knew that Biden, or I had stated that Biden was going to drop out, and that something about 2 years with Kamala, and it would be cheating because, neither one of them were on the ticket. So I was stating that. But then what happened in PA, I came out and I said there was definitely a timeline jump and that he was going to win. So you can get potential energies. You can't hang your hat on one energy. Everything is like a branch, and sometimes it streams off. And I really believe, I know I'm digressing here, but it's because there's been a lot of talk about the solar flash, which is scaring people, and people aren't understanding how some could get it so wrong. It's potential energies. Not everything is guaranteed. Nothing is written in stone. That's why they tell you to live in the present. Yes, your decisions are opening doors for your future self, and that's how you should always look at it. Is how is this decision, if you even have a decision in front of you, how is that going to affect your future self? Okay, but you should always be living in the present. So I know I digressed, and I don't even know where I'm at right now with my notes. So basically it is your intentions for December. There's going to be a lot of acts of aggression. People are going to we're going to be made more aware of the psychological sensitivity that some people are having as they propel themselves and they move forward. I'm seeing something about the oceans too. I'm not really sure what's up with that. I'm seeing something about the oceans, but I'm seeing something about the mountains too. I keep seeing Anheuser-Busch. Any rate, commitments, partnerships, contracts, union could be even in your personal life. It doesn't necessarily have to always be on the world stage. These could be energies in your personal life as well, overcoming difficulties, or those stepping stones. I keep seeing those stepping stones. So that is what you want to do. You want to live in the present, get back to basics, because that is what is going to carry us through. You want to follow your intuition. You want to make sure that you are aware of everything that is around you, what is being depleted, what needs to be restocked. There's just that kind of energy. You've got things dying around you. And this doesn't mean the fake, phony scam of climate change, but we do have real issues. So this is things that will have to be addressed. Our soil has to be addressed. There's a lot of things going forward that has to be addressed, because they could say things are a scam all they want, but we have a lot of things dying around us, and our soil is one of them. Our oceans are another. So these are things that we need, and that is where we want to go forward. So I'm going to cut it off here because I know I've digressed. I apologize. I will get into my January 2025, and we will take it from there. I appreciate you all, and I thank you so much.